the Liverpool side this afternoon, minus any of the three Irishmen who could have been involved. You'll see that Gary Gillespie is back in the back four this afternoon, maybe five indeed. Jan Molby in at midfield, and Ronnie Rosenthal drafted up into a front running position alongside Ian Rush and John Barnes. Peter Beardsley, by the way, one of the substitutes. There is Ronnie Rosenthal, made a big impression in midweek when he came on at Highbury against Arsenal in that 1-1 draw, and he scored 4 goals in the last 3 matches. Big cheer when his name was announced as part of the Liverpool setup this afternoon. Chelsea, meanwhile, have midfielder John Bumstead and winger Kevin McAllister back in action, having missed the win at Crystal Palace on Monday. Bumstead has recovered from a strained back, while McAllister has been nursing an ankle injury. Midfielders Clive Wilson, by the way, and utility man David Lee are the substitutes. Dave Besant here, who will remember his matches against Liverpool, saved the penalty in the cup final in 1988, of course, and on his last visit here, he was in the Newcastle colours, ended on the winning side that day. That is Gordon Dury, who's just been drafted back into the Scottish panel for the match at Hampden in midweek, as we watch experienced referee Roger Milford take the ball out into the centre circle. John is with me this afternoon, John. And Liverpool looking, I suppose, for a bit more cut and thrust following that performance in midweek.
Well, they played well when Rosenthal came on the other night, and they well deserved the point in the finish. I think they've got a much more positive approach today when they're playing at home. Rosenthal is starting the game. They got Gillespie back in. Mulby's in midfield. So I'd expect him to be going at Chelsea right from the start. Big game for Liverpool now. They really got it in their own hands to go on and win the league, despite what Aston Villa can do. And it's a big game where you'd expect to go out today now full of enthusiasm, full of go to get at Chelsea. Because Chelsea are a useful side themselves, and they could make things difficult for them.
As you say, Liverpool with 3 home matches now in succession know very well that their championship aspirations rest firmly in their own hands. But we were mentioning the coy approach that they were adopting to this match, and I noticed that Kenny Dalglish was particularly uptight, as it were, just before this match. Alan Hansen there, the team captain, with his son just running off. Adam Hansen, the mascot this afternoon. Chelsea going to change ends. They'll play from right to left in this first half. The Chelsea side just 1 defeat in the last 13 matches, and back in the heart of their defence, the Norwegian there, Erland Jansen, hasn't scored for Chelsea this season, but he's been among the goals for Norway in their international match in the World Cup against Scotland, and also in the recent fixture against Northern Ireland. And that's the Swedish captain, Glenn Hussein. Big cheer from the Kop, away to our right. It's Liverpool who are centre off, leading the Barclays League Division 1, 67 points from their 34 matches so far, knowing they need another 7 points to make absolutely certain of annexing their 18th league title. An offside straight away against Ian Rush. Kenny Dalglish, poised as always to emerge from his bench. Peter Beardsley there, one of the 2 substitutes, but Steve Staunton in the background. Staunton, who won the Young Eagle of the Month for March and received his honour just before this match. He is available for the international match in Lansdowne on Wednesday, but the news we mentioned earlier about the 2 other Irish is bad. Ray Houghton out of the fixture because of a groin strain, and Ronnie Whelan out with an ankle injury. Both of those out of the Irish team for Wednesday's match. But Staunton is available for selection and will be travelling to Dublin. Rush trying to link up with Nicol. That's Mulby. Dorigo pondering just a little too long. Steve Nicol, also one of those recalled to the Scottish panel for Wednesday's match at Hampden. Over the head of Hussein, Hansen, and Nicol. Liverpool with 5 at the back right now in their formation, which they've been trying out over the last couple of matches. Barnes, fed inside by Burrows, picked up by Wilson. Trying to link up with Kerry Dixon. Two very good men, as we saw last Saturday, at the heart of the Chelsea defence. Janssen and Moncao. Kerry Dixon here with 19 goals so far this season, the most likely threat from a Chelsea point of view. Wilson here, who actually is the leading scorer for the club on 20 goals. Carried out eventually there by Gordon Dury. Nicholas waiting for support, there wasn't any. Rosenthal. Nicol just surveying his options. Nice control by Barnes. Having a very good goal-scoring season, John Barnes. 24 goals to his credit, but easily dispossessed that time. McAllister. It's Dury. Got out by Bumstead. Dorigo trying to link up with Kerry Dixon. Well controlled. Dury against Steve Nicol. Gillespie was the one who just got a touch to that. Bumstead, Chelsea's most experienced player in his 13th season with the club. That's Wilson taking the return. Good smart delivery as well from Kevin Wilson, who's been well among the goals this season. Celebrated his 29th birthday on Wednesday as Bumstead picks himself off the ground rather gingerly. And John Bumstead about to receive the attention of the physio Bob Ward. That was the pass fed in by Bumstead. Neatly controlled by Wilson, and then Hussein clipped Bumstead as we saw that shot coming in from Kevin Wilson.
I've seen free kicks given for a lot less than that, and Hussein again, he gets down on the ground far too often and too early for my liking. Even sometimes when he's going to distribute the ball, he gets down and gets on his backside, and it's never a good sign in a defender. I think Chelsea were a little bit unlucky there not to get a free kick.
Touched out by Hansen. Poor delivery by Gillespie as Dury sets up Wilson once again. Gleefully taken by Bruce Grobbelaar. Barnes. Rosenthal just waited, and the challenge did come in, but the referee didn't like the nature of that challenge from the Norwegian international Erland Johnsen. Very poor ball from David Burrows. Hussein having to be vigilant. It's Mulvey with that through pass intended for Ian Rush. Moncao giving that one away to John Barnes, recovering well. And the flag is up on this near side as Jan Mulvey makes his way forward.
Well, Chelsea are pushing out a lot. Every time it looks like a long ball is going to be delivered, they're pushing out. And the linesman on this side so far has just put the flag up straight away. And it is happening a lot nowadays. I think that sometimes it's a bit dodgy, and linesmen are giving the offsides now just from habit.
Gillespie sticking out those long legs to take it away from Dorigo. Good recovery here by Steve Nicol. Commanding once again, headed back by Moncao. It'll be just interesting to see how much Ronnie Whelan has missed this afternoon. His influential presence at midfield for Liverpool, ever present throughout this season. A very long delivery by Grobbelaar towards Rosenthal. Well, quite capable of causing consternation, Ronnie Rosenthal. Those powerful shoulders. Somebody around here said he's got shoulders built like Crystal Carrington. Peter Nicholas, very ambitious. Poor ball by Peter Nicholas. Ian Rush getting very little space. Well, Gordon Dury's persistence paying off here. And Kenny Dalglish not too pleased. It seemed like a lost cause, but Dury certainly persisted. Brings the free to Chelsea. Tony Dorigo, who scored in the Zenith Cup final for Chelsea last month, as Jan Mulby waits inside with Glenn Hussein. It was directed towards John Bumstead, who was making a run from a deep position. Now Barnes. McAllister trying to get in with a tackle, and that looked out of play from here, but the flag stays down. McAllister finding life terribly difficult against David Burrows. Now Burrows once more. Nicely controlled by Bumstead. Wilson giving it away to McMahon. Nicol unable to make any headway against Dorigo. So still no goals, and nearly 9 minutes gone in the first half. First of 3 home matches for Liverpool. And they realise that if they can get 2 wins and a draw from those 3 fixtures between now and Tuesday of next week, then they will be crowned league champions. Marcao. Nicol with the throw. As far as Rosenthal, laid back for Rush. Well, the first clear-cut threat from a Liverpool point of view falling to Ian Rush.
Well, it's a pretty good start by Liverpool. They have an urgency about them that is the most important thing on the day. A good shot by Rush there, and I'm not so sure Besson didn't let it go on purpose, because if he'd got a hand to it, he might have just pushed it out into Barnes' path. But Liverpool, Chelsea are no mugs, and they're going to hold on to the ball as long as they can. But Liverpool are getting after them, and like the last match we saw them against Southampton here, where there's no real urgency about them. There's a good urgency about the play today, although they haven't really settled down into the game yet. But I think they will. The urgency is the main thing, the ability is there, and that will come out in the long run.
Nicholas. But nobody to aim at. Bruce Waller continuing to issue the instructions to his defence, and it's lined up with Hussein and Hansen right in front of him. Burrows wide on the left, Gillespie wide on the right just now, and Nicol has been pushed forward. Joe Barnes wide on that left-hand side. And the offside flag in any case raised against Rosenthal.
Well, there's the linesman again on this side, and I'm afraid we're going to see a fair bit of this. Now, Rosenthal, in my opinion, wasn't offside there, and I think the linesman should just have a little look or keep his flag down, do something with his flag anyway.
Bobby Campbell who's very much a fan of the Liverpool style of play. Mind you, he was born here near Anfield and played for the club for 7 seasons. Watching just now as the ball was taken away from Kerry Dixon by Jan Mulby. Good recovery by Mark Mahon. Trying to go around Peter Nicholas and gets himself the free. Now Gillespie for Rosenthal. Still Rosenthal, and that's going to be the game's first corner. Well, Rosenthal twisting and turning into the penalty area, and a very tricky character to contain. Besant organises for the game's first corner. Struck across towards Glenn Hussein. The touchback, however, is only as far as Dorigo. Barnes checked, fouled, and the free to Liverpool.
Bad tackle. Young lad, he's seen him play before. He's not afraid to get his foot in, as they say, which means he'll kick the winger when he gets a chance. And could have hurt Barnes there, because Barnes was turning back into him and could have done his knee or his ankle. It looks to be okay.
Hoping to add to the 18 league goals he scored so far, 24 in all competitions, and Smolby lines up the free dangerously. McMahon with the recovery to start the move once again on this right-hand side. Nicol pushing it forward to Rush. Gordon Dury here, who was one of the stars as Chelsea made their way up from Division 2 last season. 5 goals to his credit this year, 17 last year, mind you, in Division 2. This Bomster trying to push up there on Mulby. Chelsea persisting with trying to get in smartly, quickly and early to unsettle Liverpool's regular rhythm. Knock on the head there for Gordon Dury. Straight away the referee bringing on the physio once again, Bob Ward.
I think Gillespie did have his elbow up there as he went to head the ball. A lot of defenders do that. They protect themselves. They just get their elbow in front, and I don't think he meant to knock him there particularly. But if we do see it again, you'll find that his elbow's in front of him and protects his own face then going in for the ball. Left elbow, left hand way out in front of him there. It was that which caught Dury on the back of the head.
Quarter of an hour gone, still no goals. Live football action coming this evening from Anfield. Rosenthal doing well in a tight situation. Follows. McMahon trying to get one into the path of Ian Rush.
Rosenthal certainly gives Liverpool more life up front than they had in previous weeks, because Beardsley, when he was playing, wasn't playing well, and he was coming back too deep and playing more as a midfield player, where Rosenthal doesn't like doing that. He's obviously a front player, pure and simple, and he wants to do a lot of running off the ball and off Rush, and Rush needs that up front as well. He needs somebody to do a lot of running off him.
As we've said before, of course, John, an embarrassment of riches for the manager when he comes to select his side.
Well, the only embarrassment in management, Jerry, is when you haven't got enough talent to put on the pitch, and it certainly, I don't think Kenny Dalglish would be too embarrassed about that. The more good players you have, the better. And Liverpool have always had a good selection of players.
Nicholas trying to link up with Kerry Dixon, but the referee signals that the centre forward was edging in on Burrows that time.
Liverpool won't make it easy for Liverpool because they're a fair side, and they don't give much away. And Liverpool, the onus is on Liverpool to go and attack them and try and get the goals because they're playing at home. But it's not a bad start by Liverpool. There is good urgency about them. They're having a go and they're trying to get on the ball, and it's not easy. They just need to settle down a little bit. Of course, a goal would do that for them if they could possibly get it. But they've got to be patient and got to keep playing.
A promising build-up defused by John Bumstead for Chelsea and finally tidied back by Moncada. Nice flick on by Dixon. Dury, was he held off by Glenn Hussein? Certainly the Chelsea fans behind the goal away to our left disagreeing with the referee's verdict, granting a free on that occasion. John Barnes. Rosenthal certainly has been watching the action so far is Molby. Switching the direction of the play from Nicholl back to Gillespie. Played in for Molby. Well, a very promising build-up, and Molby involved in creating it initially and almost finishing it off. McAllister with a good run from a deep position. And the referee allows the free to be taken quickly. Hall. The target is Kerry Dixon. And Grobbelaar groping for possession and flicks it away despite the presence of Dorigo as far as Nicholl. Well, he's nothing if not an adventurous goalkeeper. Rosenthal we saw just in that last piece of action there. It seems to be John still getting used to the Liverpool way of playing the game and settling into the pattern that is well developed at this club.
Well, I think he's settled down well, Jerry. His first couple of touches have been good. He's laying the ball off well. He's not trying to do too much. Molby has used his passing abilities in the midfield for Liverpool, which is absolutely brilliant when he's playing well. But the only thing with Molby is his fitness. He looks a little bit overweight again for me, which is no excuse for professional footballer to be overweight in any way whatsoever. But his passing ability is exceptionally good, and he can open it out for Liverpool. If he gets in possession of the ball with space, he will open it out and make good passes.
Dixon touched on, and the flag off for offside on that far side. Nice little ball played through that time.
Again, from a linesman's point of view, I don't think that was offside. It was very close, and Dixon's not too pleased about it. Good goalkeeping by Grobbelaar there, though. He was reading the situation, he was out anyway, and I don't think Dixon would have got onto it. But again, the linesmen are very ready, very eager to put the flags up.
The same trouble this afternoon by the persistence of Gordon Dury. It's Nicholl flicking it forward towards Rosenthal. Well, the ball was played by Nicholl to Rosenthal on that occasion. I'm not quite sure if Ian Rush was the target, but Rosenthal had a quick word with Nicholl as though he expected him to make a return into the outside right position. Burrows judging it well on both occasions. Now Rosenthal. Burrows turning inside for Jan Molby. Switch to Gillespie. Gillespie opting to play it inside for Rush. Good-looking ball towards Rosenthal. Superb recovery, header away by Gareth Hall, with two Liverpool players poised in the far post, one of them Rosenthal and the other John Barnes.
Good play by Hall. Hall is a very good header of the ball. He's only a young lad, and he's quick, boy, but very good in the air, and he wants to get the ball in the air, and that showed there. He knew before Rush got it over that he was, whatever it was going to be in the air, he was going to go for it. He made up his mind early, and it was a good clean header coming over the top of Rosenthal. Timely clearance for Chelsea.
Free kick for Chelsea. Nicholl giving it away to Peter Nicholas. Recovered by Bastard. And in turn taken by Nicholl. Rush playing it back for Gillespie. There he can feel perfectly at home at right back or in the heart of the defence. Just as we say, a giveaway of the ball.
He hasn't played for a few weeks, Gillespie, and it does take him, any player, a little bit of time to get back into the rhythm of the game. He's an exceptionally good player. Him and Nicholl haven't really played a lot. Nicholl has played the last few weeks to get his match fitness, and I think Gillespie will come on as the game goes on. He should get better.
Dury against Gillespie. It's Johnson, and tidied up eventually by Tony Dorigo, who was born in Melbourne, down in Australia, incidentally.
This is where it's difficult for Liverpool now. Chelsea are defending quite well and knocking it back to the goalkeeper all the time, which is disrupting any rhythm that's going, and Peasant is kicking it out very long. Liverpool, the onus on them is to get the ball down and attack and try and score goals. Chelsea don't have to do that. As long as the crowd don't get too impatient with Liverpool, they'll be okay, because they are playing okay. When they have a chance to play it, they're playing it. They just need to get a break, get a goal.
Hansen and Hussein getting in a muddle. Finally a call by Hansen, the team captain, Peter Nicholas. And the ball played into space, but not in the right position. So midway through this first half, Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0. Inside the last fortnight of league activity this season. And after this match, it will be Liverpool at home to Queen's Park Rangers, then at home to Derby, and finally away to Coventry. The patient build-up once again, trying to transfer possession play into an opening. John Barnes will be flicking it forward. Two players, one on that left-hand side, but it's taken down by Janssen instead. Wilson, the Northern Ireland international, as Dury. Good-looking ball, and the flag is up once again, and that linesman over there, who is Dennis Phillips, is a very busy man with his flag this afternoon.
Liverpool are showing plenty of patience. They don't need to get frustrated now. Just keep playing and playing and playing all the time. Coming back and helping each other, get on the ball, as has been their style for years. They mustn't get frustrated and impatient and hit long balls that they shouldn't be hitting.
Mulvey with a quick word to Hussein. Perhaps an apology for putting that pass in the incorrect position. McMahon. Killed by Gillespie. Returned by Nicol. And finally it's Moncau, the Dutch under-21 international, signed from Feyenoord, giving the throw to Liverpool. Gillespie with the throw. Rosenthal, neat control. Angling for the shot, and a brilliant goal! Straight from the throw, it's Ronnie Rosenthal's fifth league goal in the last 4 matches. Applauded by Kenny Dalglish. It was a beauty, surely.
Good goal, with good control. Very strong, we said. O'Shoal, as you mentioned before, Jay, backing into the Moncau and turning him. Moncau got a little bit too close to him, but what a good finish when he got onto his left foot. And that's exactly what Liverpool were looking for. There he is, backing it. Now Moncau should have stepped away there so he could have a look at the ball as he was turning around. He's trying to win it from too close to him, and Rosenthal is getting a good shot in between his legs. Moncau goes between his legs. Great goal for Liverpool, and just what they needed. That will settle them down a bit, and all the good play that they're having, the patient play, the crowd won't be impatient anymore. Once they go in front, it settles the crowd down, which is important for the players. But Liverpool have shown good character from the start. This is a big game for them today. Chelsea are no mugs, but just the break that they needed.
Those 5 goals, incidentally, a hat-trick against Charlton, another against Forest last Saturday. And they felt perhaps he was a little bit weary, and they brought him on as a substitute rather than started him on Wednesday night against Arsenal. And for his troubles and his 25 minutes of activity, he was nominated as man of the match, which said something about the earlier part of that particular fixture. And a goal here after 25 minutes. The difference between the sides, and as John Giles suggests, an opportunity now for Liverpool to settle down, and their crowd as well, and enjoy some expressive football.
Well, it's only a start for them now, Joe, and a good start, but they've got to build on that now, and they've got to go for another one. And obviously defend well at the back, which they have done from the start. Hansen and Hussein and Gillespie and Burrows have been good, but they've got to keep it up now, not slip up, and get on and make it a really championship class performance. Get your goals, and then defend it well, and go for another one.
Here's Barnes. Play on, says the referee. Rosenthal in support, looking for number 2. Well, he's put it by, as you'll gather by his expression. but it was a super build-up, and Barnes involved all the way.
Yeah, Barnes made a good break here. I'm not so sure he meant to pass the ball to Rosenthal, but Rosenthal did well. Now, maybe one or two of the Liverpool players might be complaining that he didn't square it flush, but I think he did the right thing. Nicol was behind the number 11 from Chelsea there, but he wasn't in such a good position. He was on his swinger. He's obviously not as good on his right foot as he is on his left, but he made his good position well, and he looks a natural goal scorer. And what a difference he's made to Liverpool in the last few weeks. And again today, because he's got in positions that Beardsley hasn't been getting into, and there's no way Beardsley would have scored the goal that Rosenthal scored there. And it's just what Liverpool need.
Experienced player indeed, Ronnie Rosenthal, with 21 international caps for Israel. Indeed, it's very much a United Nations looking side, this Liverpool side this afternoon, minus the 3 Irishmen, we'll remind you, with 2 of them out injured. There are still 6 other nationalities involved. There's Wilson, off the foot of Gillespie. Second opportunity, however, to get it as far as Gordon Dury. Towards Dixon. Got to it. Nice little flick. And a reasonable opening for Chelsea.
Good move for Chelsea there. And Dixon has to be watched all the time. He's very dangerous. And as Liverpool will know, when you're playing against a team like Chelsea, 1 goal is never enough. Because anything can happen. That was a good header. And I think it had Grobbelaar beaten. He was certainly groping across the goal here. There's a little flick the outside of his head. He was a little bit wider than it looked when we watched it. But they've got to be careful all the time. They certainly need another goal to really settle down into the game.
Alan Hansom having to stick out those long legs just to keep it away from Kevin McAllister. Throw to Chelsea. Paul. Dixon trying to get the flick on, but it's Hussein. Rosenthal very much the key figure in attack alongside Ian Rush. Dorigo swapping passes with Bumstead. Well, an opportunity to make himself a big name once again. He's a very useful player from a dead ball situation. But that was going nowhere near Grobbelaar's goal.
So what you must remember today too is that Chelsea have really nothing to play for except for a bit of pride. They can be relaxed. Whereas Liverpool have everything to play for. They're going for the championship. They've got to attack them. They've got to try and get as many goals as they possibly can to win the game. And they're bound to be a little bit nervous at times.
Cow. Nicholas flicking it in. No offside on this occasion. Gillespie played them all onside, says the linesman on the far side. Wilson was the man playing it across. And it's smartly taken by Bruce Grobbelaar. Well, for a linesman who's been flagging for just about everything else on that occasion, he spotted that Gillespie, I think, on this near side had played them all onside on that occasion, but the linesman over here, who is Frank Taylor, spots that McMahon has moved into an offside position.
Interesting to see that Wilson won again, if we do. I don't think he was offside. I think he was on, and Hussein stopped running after him instead of maybe chasing him down, and it made it look worse than it actually was. But it was a good chance for Chelsea. It wasn't a good cross. Grobbelaar again read it well and got onto it well, but he should have made it. Wilson should have made it more difficult for Grobbelaar to do that.
That's a Chelsea corner, following that shot which was clipped off a defender from Gordon Dury. Dury and Dixon really having a thorough understanding in the Chelsea attack, sharing 45 goals last season, something less than that this year, of course. Bumstead the taker, and the 2 central defenders have gone forward. I think it's Peter Nicholas who's going to take it. So once again,
I think Liverpool's experience against Crystal Palace for short corner kicks to the near post is obviously alerted them, because they seem to be keener than ever I've seen them before, and defending the better on short corner kicks, which is the right way to do it. Barnes is on the near post, and he's looking to get it away from there.
Deep towards Moncao, headed down by Janssen, who was leaning up onto the shoulders of the defender. Indeed, you mentioned Crystal Palace there. Ken Bates, who can really be kept out of the news. The Chelsea chairman was suggesting this morning that his fellows should get up and at Liverpool this afternoon. What Crystal Palace could do, we could do, he suggested.
Well, That was a deep corner, as we can see there, and it was very difficult for a Chelsea player to get a clean header on it, because you've got Hansen and Gillespie, I think, diving in or jumping into the player. That's what they should be. They should be challenging like that. Nobody should get a free header, as Crystal Palace got on them last week. As for Ken Bates, well, I think there should be Bobby Campbell should be making comments like that, not Ken Bates. I don't ever remember Ken Bates playing football or managing anybody.
Ansel. Rush not quite getting the flick on that he intended that time. Here's Dorigo. Dury, the target man forward against Hussein. Followed on by Dixon here. Flicked beautifully across, away by Hansen. And that's going to be a Chelsea corner. Their third in the last 2 minutes.
Good moves by Chelsea now. They're really putting the pressure on Liverpool, and they're playing well. Since Liverpool has scored, Chelsea come well into the game. But again, teams like Liverpool should be able to defend these corner kicks. It should take an exceptionally good header to beat you here. And if they challenge properly, there's no Chelsea player should get a free header in.
Nicholas again, punched out, back in by Bumstead. And that was Moncau trying to get a flick onto it. Bumstead once again trying to tee it up for McAllister, and finally it's played well clear. And certainly from place ball situations like that last corner kick and one or two of the other ones, Chelsea have looked menacing. Still 1-0, however. Liverpool the leaders. A goal after 25 minutes by Ronnie Rosenthal.
Well, from Liverpool's point of view, that is the way to defend them, because all teams are going to look dangerous against you at times from corner kicks and put you under a bit of pressure. But Liverpool didn't get any free headers there, and eventually they got a boot behind the ball.
No question on that occasion about the offside rule against Ronnie Rosenthal.
I think Chelsea are overdoing the offside a little bit, and I think somewhere along the line Barnes will make a run, he'll beat a player and he'll go through on his own and go past the Logan.
Hussein once again in trouble in the air. It's McAllister trying to tee it up for Dixon, and finally it's the number 2 Hussein with that faint expression on the face of Kerry Dixon. Dixon, of course, the former England striker, would love to get back into the England reckoning, I'm sure, for the World Cup campaign. Nickel here. Turn Kevin Wilson. That came off Dorigo. And a Liverpool ball. Nickel the taker. Ian Rush. Right at the byline, beautifully cut across, and it's Besson there just taking it away from John Barnes. McAllister. Janssen again seeking out the security of his goalkeeper. He's been involved in something like £1.6 million transfers over the last couple of years. Dorigo, deep ball towards Dixon. Hansen watching that one fall down. It's teed up for McAllister, and finally it's Dixon who wants to have a go at it. Well, Wilson was there too, and I think Wilson will have been a little bit annoyed with Kerry Dixon there. If we get a chance to see it again.
I don't think he was too pleased about it. I think, to be fair to Wilson, he was the one that was coming onto the ball. I think Dixon should have got out of the way there.
Well, the referee says it was a high challenge by Peter Nicholas, who himself turns to the referee and says it was being fouled, referee. 9 minutes to go to half-time. Liverpool 1, Chelsea 0. In what is Liverpool's 4th last match of the league campaign. Rosenthal getting onto it once again. Off Janssen. Burrows the taker. Getting it back from John Barnes. Neat footwork, but dogged determination by Hall. And that's planted in the back by Nickel. Stevie Nickel with his 5th league goal of the season, his 8th in all, once again applauded by Kenny Dalglish. 2 goals to 0, a fabulous goal.
Just what Dalglish needed. He'll relax a little bit now, and Liverpool should turn it on. Good work here from the throw-in. Burrows puts Barnes in, and what a great pass from Barnes. The ball is going away from him here. Watch Barnes when he's coming onto the ball. with plenty of pace on it, with the inside of his left foot, and it's easy, once you make contact with those type of crosses, the ball is zooming into the back of the net, and Nicholl certainly did that very well. Excellent goal, and a great cross by Barnes, and a fine header by Nicholl.
As Dixon tries to cut one back just before half-time, and the referee has blown his whistle. It's a free to Liverpool, once again an offside decision. Well, Nicholl taking the credit there, John, but that is 8th goal of the season, but you just wonder now whether the floodgates will open from Liverpool's point of view.
Well, they're certainly playing well, and they've had the breaks. The Rosenthal's goal was a big goal for them, and just again when Chelsea were coming at them to play, they've got another good goal, and really it's a classic way that you can give a team a hiding if they stick to the principles that they've had from the start of the game, which is plenty of urgency, plenty of go in them. There's Nicholl. Look at the pace on the ball. That flight in the ball is unbelievable from that angle, and Nicholl has only got it meted, but the ball's spinning away from him like that. Once it meets his head, it's actually whacking off his forward, and he's a pretty good header of the ball, Nicholl, for his size, and that was a great goal for Liverpool. Liverpool only got to stick at it, keep playing the way they were playing, plenty of patience, but the goals now should give them the confidence to be even more patient and play the ball around and get Chelsea chasing them. Great start for them.
Nicholl once again into the path of Rosenthal, beautifully teed up for him. The defender trying to get back goal side Janssen, and Monku sticks out the right leg to dispossess the Israeli international. But Rush was there as well, and he hasn't seen too much of the action this afternoon. But it's been a useful Liverpool performance in this first half. 2 goals ahead, and just about 6.5 minutes to go to half-time. Chelsea, from their point of view, 6th in the table right now. We've made a good run forward, beaten just once in their last 13 matches, as we told you earlier.
That was good play there, Liverpool now. That's the way to hound the opposition and harry them down. They were looking for a good position there, Chelsea, and they finished up having to pass it back to the goalkeeper. That's McMahon, Nicholl, Gillespie doing their stuff, and that's what they did a couple of weeks ago. We were watching the game. That's what they didn't do against Southampton. They gave them all the room in the world, and that's the difference between winning the championship or the championship winning performance and not. Excellent from Liverpool today. When they get the ball, they're playing it well, they score the goals well, and they're really hounding the opposition. And if they keep playing like this, they'll go on to win the championship easily.
Aston Villa, of course, one of those sides still with a keen interest, as John Barnes watches from his perch on the left-hand side of midfield, with Dorigo taking it down to Wilson. Villa this afternoon at home to Millwall, already relegated, of course, so they'd be expected to pick up 3 points there, but the maximum that Villa can pick up in the league is 74 points. Nicholas for Kerry Dixon. Not sure there's too much of that, but he was pushed by Hussein. Free kick from an interesting position, and watch out for number 3, Tony Dorigo, from a position like this.
Jury can hit them as well there, Jar. Depends who. It's difficult for the goalkeeper because one's a left-footed player, the other's a right-footed player, and they're obviously approaching the ball at different angles, so it's difficult for Grobbelaar to make his position. But I think down at Chelsea early on, when we saw a match against Liverpool, Jury scored a good goal from a similar position like this. Back to the inside of his right foot to Grobbelaar's right hand. Again, a vital time for Liverpool. They've got to defend it as best they possibly can.
So 5 in the wall, 2 goals to nil, 5 minutes to go to half-time. Dury standing number 10 on the left-hand side. Dixon, who could hit them with the left foot. Peter Nicholas, the one who lets it behind, and it's going to be taken again. Referee hadn't brought the wall back the requisite distance. So a grand rehearsal as Roger Mulford from Bristol orders a retake. Grobbelaar's taking his position right in the middle of the goals, which is unusual because he doesn't know whether Jury or Dorigo's going to hit it. I wonder if they'll switch it now for Dury to have a go. Number 10, Dury, leaving it to Dorigo, coming back, headed back in, off McMahon. The wall stands firm, and Liverpool continue to lead by 2 goals to nil. And that ball thrown back in by Kenny Dalglish. And it was Nicholas, I think, who was having a little game with the Liverpool manager. Staunton there to his left, and Peter Beardsley, I wonder if he'll see any of the action this afternoon. One of the 2 substitutes. Barnes. Flick on by Jan Molby. Janssen. Well controlled by Wilson. Dorigo turning inside neatly. Getting away from McMahon. Setting up here for Wilson. Oh, just trying to thread it forward for Kerry Dixon. It reaches Rosenthal. Now Barnes. the architect of that second goal for Liverpool. And Nicol, the one who scored it, of course. Ian Rush getting it back to Nicol. Well, let fly, and it could just about have gone anywhere. Dury. There's Kerry Dixon once again. Going wide, waiting for support to come from a deep position. The flick forward intended for Wilson. And the foul on McMahon by Peter Nicholas. Free to Liverpool. Mulvey anxious to take it quickly. But both Rush and Rosenthal are moving back from an offside position.
It was a good game today. There's plenty of pace. Now, Chelsea haven't laid down. They've come back at Liverpool each time they've lost a goal. And if they do get a goal, they'll be well back into the game again. That's why Liverpool are defending with plenty of urgency, which is why you would expect them to do it. Haven't seen that urgency about them for a long time now. And when they've had to defend now, they defended well.
As Dalglish watches it from his perch. We should mention, of course, that English sides are hoping to get back into UEFA competitions. The decision has been postponed on that for some time, and it will probably depend on the behaviour of the fans at the World Cup this summer. But if they were to get back into English football, into European football, well, Chelsea would have an interest, of course, because they might well qualify for the UEFA Cup competition if they finish high enough up in the league table. It's all academic at this stage. Just 2 minutes to go to half-time as Grobbelaar restarts. His side ahead by 2 goals to 0. Difficult control by Nicholas, giving it to McMahon. Nichols available if he wants to use him. Liverpool playing good, safe football, ensured in their passing, and playing with their familiar flair as well. Poor ball from Ian Rush, intended for Nicol. He reaches to Rigo. Dury. And head tennis with Kerry Dixon. Hansen. Barnes. Watched all the way by Gareth Hall, the right back. He was doing quite well, incidentally, against David Burrows until that ball broke back to John Barnes to set up that second goal. McAllister trying to control, but it's Hansen. He looks so composed and so much at ease at the heart of the Liverpool defence as we're into the last 30 seconds of this first half. And a very competitive first half it's been, as John Giles has been suggesting, good competitive edge to the match. And overall, John, plenty of entertainment.
Yeah, it's Liverpool has started well, and Chelsea, I say, a useful side. No pressure on them. They could pass the ball back to the goalkeeper as much as they liked when there was no score. But since they've lost the goal, they've had to push forward a lot more, which they have done, and they're putting Liverpool under a little bit of pressure in between the goals.
Nice flick on that time by Moncala as far as Dixon, who wins yet another corner, a fourth, and Stevie Nicol isn't too pleased with that, remonstrating with referee Roger Milford. But the outcome, a corner. And in the first half, we've seen that Chelsea quite capable of creating some good positions for themselves from corner kicks taken by Nicholas once again. Well, that was a well-rehearsed free kick, I'm sure, with Wilson, the flick on that time. Back to Nicholas. Controlled by Rush. Rosenthal's there to provide support. But Janssen, reading his intentions, taking the sting out of the attack. Playing injury time at the end of the first half, where Liverpool went in front thanks to Ronnie Rosenthal after 25 minutes. A fine individual goal, neat control, clinical finishing, and Stevie Nicol added a second in the 37th minute, created by John Barnes. Plenty of entertainment, plenty more to look forward to. Half-time score here at Anfield. It's Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0. We'll be back very shortly. Welcome back. 2 goals to 0 then, but of course Liverpool, we were mindful of last Saturday afternoon when they played Nottingham Forest here, led by 2-0 at half-time, and that of course ended 2-2. Chelsea then playing from left to right in this second half. No alteration in personnel at the start of the half. One of the fans looking for an audition perhaps over there, heading it back to Dorigo. Hussein giving away the throw to Chelsea. Maybe the Swedish skipper in this year's World Cup in Italy. Now Wilson. Trying to fire for a shot here, perhaps. Trying to take a return from Kerry Dixon and add to the 20 goals he scored this season, but killed quite easily by Alan Hansen. Rosenthal was the initial target, I feel, but Burrows was also pushing up. David Burrows has been contesting the left-back position with Steve Staunton. Rosenthal feeding it back for John Barnes, flicked forward out by Moncao. Well back in, but the flag raised on the far side, and it seems from here that Moncao might well have played Rosenthal onside, because Moncao did seem to be just a little bit behind its goal side.
Again, there's no way he was offside there. Rosenthal wasn't pleased about that.
Ball flicked on to Dury from Dixon. Well, the old combination trying to conjure up a score for Chelsea and bring them right back into the match. Encouragement from Bobby Campbell, who's been in charge now at Chelsea since 1988 and virtually restructured the side. Clive Wilson there in the middle, one of the two substitutes. Never quite seems happy, Kenny Dalglish, when a Liverpool team is playing. Hussein starting it all once again with Steve Nicol. Gillespie staying on side. So it's Wilson who gets it back as far as Peter Nicholas. So Chelsea then looking for some way through this Liverpool formation. Barnes with delightful control. Hansen flicked forward. Jonsson finding Dury. Snappy tackle that time from Hansen, setting up Nicol. Back to Burrows. Barnes, beautiful flick. A marvellous skill, great vision as well. And Janssen sets up Gillespie on the right-hand side. Off Moncao, back to Jan Mulder. Certainly the skill of John Barnes with that little flick back that time, John Giles. He certainly has been one of the players most to admire as that attack is still in play and finally goes by for a Chelsea throw.
Yeah, beautiful skill by Barnes. He's a beautifully balanced player. When he gets near the ball and gets control of it, he's very dangerous. It was a good move by Liverpool. And again, they've got to learn from last week. They're 2 up and drew the match, so they can't be complacent. They shouldn't be complacent and just keep playing where they finished the first half.
Janssen with the free for Chelsea. Now Dorigo. Kerry Dixon flicking it back. Hansen reading the intentions, and Nicol there as well for Liverpool. Mulby. McMahon into the path of Ian Rush, didn't quite get a touch onto it, and it's Bonstead who finally reaches the security of his goalkeeper. Not a particularly good afternoon for Ian Rush so far, Liverpool's second highest scorer ever, with 241 goals. Roger Hunt, of course, leading the scoring tally, and Peter Beardsley wondering whether he might well be brought on at some stage during the action, perhaps for Ian Rush. McMahon trying to set up Rush. Bonstead here, taking it wide of Jan Mulby. Good control by Dury. Moncao let it run on to Dorigo. holding it up. Dorigo waiting for Moncau to go wide outside. And that was off the post from Lee Dixon, but he was pushing in any case, and the referee had already whistled for a free out for Liverpool.
Yeah, he could feel harshly done by here because he's got to go for the ball and the Liverpool players are backing into him. He's got to put his hand somewhere. I don't necessarily think he was pushing the player here. Well, maybe he had his arms around Burrows. Good header though. And Chelsea are not out of this game by a long chalk yet. Liverpool have their stuff to do. They've got to continue to do it.
Breaks back off Ian Rush. Janssen recovering, but it's going to be a Liverpool ball. Barnes once again coming into the picture. Lovely footwork, neat control, but finally just showed a little too much of it, and Peter Nicholas was in to snap it away from his heels. But every time he receives possession, the crowd expecting something special from their number 10. Limping right now, having been injured in that last attack, by the way. Nicol. All far too deep and easy for Besant. Still feeling that left leg after he was going forward before that ball was cleared out by Nicholas in the last attack. Rosenthal just turned into Nicholas on that occasion. That's Mulby. Beautiful ball finding Nicol. Little flick forward for Rosenthal to control. Take forward dangerously, and that's going to be a corner.
Well, he's definitely given them something new, Liverpool. He's very mobile and he's not trying to do too much, Rosenthal. When he does get possession of the ball around the middle of the field, he's prepared to lay it off. He'll up around the goals, he'll take people on, and he's obviously trying to get onto his left foot all the time, and he packs a good shot in that. Bush is not on his game yet so far.
It's a poor corner by Mulby. Dorigo. Well, I was going to say he'd have to hold it up in any case because all the Chelsea team have gone back to defend the corner. Hansen waited. And despite the fact that Chelsea were playing a little dangerously, it was clearly Moncau who played Gillespie into an offside position by moving out smartly at the right moment. Hansen climbing up onto Dury's back to effect the clearance, and free kick to Chelsea. And Gary Ablett warming up, played in that match in midweek against Arsenal, figured then as a central defender. So Nicholas, number 8, lining up this free just outside the Liverpool penalty area. And again, he's got 2 central defenders to aim at, as well as Kerry Dixon, but it's Hussein, the Swede, who gets it out as far as the Welshman Rush. On for Rosenthal. Rush has made a run in towards the far post. Well, Rosenthal bundled over, and a free kick, or is it? And the referee seemed to indicate, yes, it is going to be a free for Liverpool.
Well, again, Rosenthal doing his stuff. He's capable of getting onto the ball and take defenders on, which is great for Liverpool. Plenty of mobility up there, and dangerous position for Liverpool. Chelsea is. If Mulby gets on the free kick and concentrates what he's doing, beautiful kicker of the ball. He's just got to concentrate now. Might even give it a whack himself into the goals.
So let's see if Liverpool can set up their 3rd goal of the afternoon, and that's headed clear over the bar by Erland Janssen, who was transferred in November for over £300,000 to Chelsea from Bayern Munich. Mulby will be the taker. Burrows making himself available for a quick corner if Mulby requires assistance. Played in, fisted out by Besant. Nicol waiting, and 2 players coming out, and he held his composure well as Moncau was coming racing in towards him. Here's Nicol once again. Flag waved furiously on the far side as Gary Gillespie was trying to prise open another score for Liverpool.
Well, Chelsea playing the offside again, and they're doing it a lot, and I just feel that it's a dangerous ploy, and it could well be cut out before the end of the match doing that.
Hansen jumping with Dixon. It's Yuri who touches it on. McAllister! So very near. Well, out of nothing, really. Chelsea contriving to come forward with a chance of their own, and that was McAllister, who was in there at the finish, but who couldn't just direct the shot on target.
He did well as a flick on. Burrows is on the wrong side of him a little bit there, and he's got a start on Burrows. But again, when the ball is breaking loose, he's the one that gets his foot to it, and he's a little bit lucky not to keep it down. Under a lot of pressure, Burrows was pushing and shoving a little bit, but Burrows was bad there. He should never let McAllister get that fall side of him like that.
Hall climbing up into the back of John Barnes, the referee decides. This is Burrows. Rush coming deep to try and get onto that ball a little more. McMahon realising the attention was right, but it was far too near Moncao. Hansen once again being out-jumped at the heart of the defence there by Gordon Dury. Rosenthal against Dorigo. Oh, Nicholas playing his own defence into trouble. And Johnson had played them onside. McMahon for Rosenthal, and it's a superb recovery save. And a fine tackle by Kenny Moncao. And for just a moment there was another glimmer of light for Liverpool, as Nicholas had played Liverpool away free.
Should have been better. McMahon's ball was very poor. He should have overhit the ball rather than underhit it to Rosenthal if he was going to put it through, or else go through on his own. Very good chance.
Well cut out by Hall. Chelsea still very competitive in this fixture. Just looking for a solitary opening to bring themselves right back into the game. Lovely controlled by Mulvey, has shown himself to be one of the outstanding passers in this match. Gillespie now 13 minutes into the second half. And the challenge by Rush on Janssen was unfair, the referee decides. Gillespie just reacting there to that touchdown by Hussein. Dorigo trying to set up, it was Kerry Dixon, but offside once again, the decision. Two linesmen have certainly been very busy this afternoon. On this occasion, Chelsea deciding to warm up their two substitutes, who are David Lee and Clive Wilson. It runs on for Rosenthal, for Barnes, Rush, triangular football, and Rosenthal just trying to apply that little finish there with the pass back to Rush. Mind you, Nicol was free outside had Rosenthal realised that fact. A very stern challenge by Burrows, solidly in. McMahon once again trying to construct in midfield. Chelsea coming out en masse, and Liverpool holding it up not to be caught in the offside trap once more. Nicol waiting as the defence is now retreated to the edge of the penalty area. The saying, flag up for offside against Barnes. But perhaps not Barnes, because although he was the player going through, it was Gillespie maybe on the far side who was coming back from an offside position.
Should have been back quicker. Gillespie should. That is poor play from the defender. As soon as the ball broke down, he should have been sprinting back, and it wasn't Barnes that was offside at all there. And that Barnes was right through. Great chance. That was Gillespie. Again, a little bit of match fitness, probably not as keen to get back as he should be.
Well, that really is an outrageous piece of refereeing or linesmanship on the far side, because there was no way that Rosenthal looked to be offside as that ball came across.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think the linesmen are far too eager now to get the flags up for offside. Rosendahl had a look across the line there and made sure he wasn't offside, and that's bad linesman.
That's Jury, set up for the chance by Kevin McAllister, but he couldn't steer it onto the intended target. In the air, Chelsea have been impressive.
Whereas Hansen is not getting to grips with Dixon. Dixon's a very big fella, and he is good in the air. And Jury hasn't been quite as sharp as he normally is around him. He could have taken that on there and maybe got a better shot in.
So 16 minutes into the second half, and it's Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0. We remind you once again that the three Irish players who could have been involved in today's fixture are not involved this afternoon. Steve Staunton out because of a tactical ploy, and the other two players, we spoke to Ronnie Whelan and Ray Houghton, and both of them not playing today because they're injured, and we can also confirm that they're out of the international on Wednesday afternoon next at Lansdowne Road. So 2-0, and Liverpool come building, looking for another, and Rosenthal just lost his concentration. Dorigo, well in control. Well, Wilson was just a little static. McMahon buzzing around in midfield, Barnes likewise. And Besant with a clumsy clearance, played back by McMahon. Well, it would probably have got goal of the season from an ambitious situation, but a terrible and sloppy kick away by Dave Besant.
Well, Liverpool are only a pass or two really away from making it 3. They're defending well, they've got Liverpool, they've got Chelsea where they want them, and they've just got to finish them off now. They'll be careful at the back, not give anything away, but really it's opening up a great deal all the time. There's more space coming, and if they concentrate at the pass at the vital time, they'll stick another one in the back, or they should do.
Beautiful ball by Rush. Rosenthal. Once again, a penetrating run by Rosenthal on the byline, but the control just leaving him down. Goal kick, the outcome. But he really has inspired new life, and Dorigo, for one, is having a rather miserable afternoon, keeping tabs on Ronnie Rosenthal. Liverpool looking so assured.
Smallsby gives them an extra dimension in the middle of the field. He's by far the most creative Liverpool player in there. Ronnie Whelan is a fine player, and defensively does great for Liverpool, and I would have him in the team any time. But maybe in recent weeks, Mulvey would have had a run instead of McMahon. McMahon hasn't played as well as he can play, and he hasn't got the creative builds in Mulvey.
Ball once again, and yet another Chelsea ball. McAllister here, going to flick one inside for Gareth Hall. Mulvey. So Liverpool continuing to display the more assured football. Gillespie waiting for Rush to go forward, but the Chelsea defence was again moving out. Gary Dixon complaining that Gillespie was overreaching and fouling, but the referee didn't read it that way. Liverpool just content to hold possession and be as creative as possible at midfield. Mulby laying it forward, but not in the position he intended to play. I think he intended for a ball into an outside left slot. Nicol was moving up. Kevin Wilson. Hussein out smartly. Controlled by Nicholas. Dury touching it back for Wilson once more. Hansen calling the plays.
Most of the Liverpool players should be wanting to eat the ball now. Mulby and McMahon getting back to Hansen to get it from them and play. They're getting plenty of room to do it. The 2 goals up, and they should be really playing now.
Well, the referee sees that as a foul.
A little lull in the game now. That's not good for Liverpool, because Chelsea get a goal here, they'll really come back into the game, and Liverpool should be pressing ahead now and really making it difficult for them.
Clive Wilson coming in, and his namesake Kevin Wilson, the Northern Ireland international, the player who is replaced. Wilson, the substitute that is, Clive Wilson, said to be unsettled and seeking a move perhaps to a continental club in the summer. So on he comes. So will the substitution have the desired result? Hall. Well, there was a call, I feel, from Clive Wilson on the far side. That's why Kerry Dixon left that ball. Dorigo. Once again, the height of Kerry Dixon and Gordon Dury, the main threat from a Chelsea point of view, as they knock the ball into paths and hope that other players can come in and latch onto the pass and transfer it into a score. But still 2-0 and just about 22 minutes remaining. John Barnes, easily dispossessed by Gareth Hall. Barnes once more. Gets by on this occasion. In for Rosenthal. Well, he was looking for his second of the afternoon in front of an attendance of 38,431, which is Liverpool's biggest of the season. And Rosenthal and Barnes once again.
Great cross by Barnes. Look at the pace on the ball again. A little bit unlucky there, Rosenthal. Not an easy angle to get the ball on the goals. He just had a little bit too full for what he needed. A little glance would have done him better. But he's in there all the time, Rosenthal. He looks the most likely to score for Liverpool all the time.
Well, he's got that eagerness and that bite which perhaps they've been missing. That's Rush off the crossbar. The first real chance he's had in the afternoon, and what he knows he should have put away.
Well, he hasn't been on his game, and this is where it tells sometimes. Good ball from Rosa. Look at Rush here. He knows exactly what he's doing with his body. He's getting his body in front. And again, Moncow, as he had in the previous goal, looking to win it too early, and that Rush usually sticks them home. And he's on his game. That goal looks as wide as a gate to him, and it was a bad miss for him in the finish. He did brilliantly to turn and get Moncow turned and get the angle on the goals, and then he made a mess of the final thing. But again, lively work from Rosenthal setting it up for Rush.
So Chelsea breathing a sigh of relief, still 2-0 down. Just looking for that one chance that might well bring them back into the game. This is Mulby. And Rosenthal's onside. Besson comes out. Spreads himself well. Well, by now it should well be 3 surely.
Only a touch away from it, but they want to do it as well, Liverpool. When they get a chance like that, stick the ball home and get the game finished. Rosenthal slipped up a little bit, because when Mulby put him through, he had a little look up to see where Besson was, and he took his eye off the ball, and his first touch wasn't good then when he got through.
Now Clive Wilson, the substitute. Difficult for Dorigo to control. Nicely played back. Off Gillespie, and that's going to be a Chelsea corner.
Watch Rosenthal now when he gets through. He's having a little look around to see if he's offside. A little look up at Besson. Then his first touch was poor. He should have concentrated on the ball and then had a little look up. And Chelsea are back in the game now. Corner kick. And that was the chance by Rush, and Rosenthal could have finished off the game.
Peter Nicholas is always the corner kick taker for Chelsea. Looking for a flick on at the near post. Kevin Wolfson had been the target in earlier corners, but he's now been replaced. It was Moncau forward that time, jumping again with Gillespie, getting a touch onto it as well. McAllister. Chelsea continuing to apply pressure. Taken eventually with admirable ease by Liverpool. And Dorigo finding the security of Dave Besant. Chelsea now playing with a bit more urgency. 18 minutes to go. Still 2-0. Liverpool the leaders. Dixon. And that was touched in beautifully. Oh, a fabulous shot. It was Bumstead with the shot, and superbly taken by Grobbelaar.
Oh, vital save for Liverpool now. He's hit this well, and watch Grobbelaar here. He not just gets there, he holds on to it. Very agile. A lot of keepers would have been only too pleased to knock that over the top. He's got there and held on to it. Chelsea not out of the game yet.
McAllister, who set that one up for Bumstead, was quite unselfish about it.
Game is very evenly poised. Liverpool are a touch away from making it 3-0, and Chelsea doing their best to get back into it. Once there's only 2 in it like this, it's still anybody's game, although Liverpool do look the most likely to score.
Well, Janssen somehow always seemed in complete control in that tight situation against Ian Rush. Dixon outjumped on this occasion by Hansen. Moncau. Chested down. Hussein's clearance only reaching Hall. Wilson trying to go by Nicol. It's Peter Nicholas, and finally Nicol. Chelsea, incidentally, are considering a second substitution. That would be David Lee. Once again, Bruce Grobbelaar producing a fine save to keep Liverpool those 2 goals ahead. And this is the shot once again. Well laid off by McAllister, and watch as he held and took it down with commendable ease. Gordon Dury has copped a high one that time as Burrows went in. That's going to be a free for Chelsea just outside the penalty area. And Bumstead, who hit that beautiful shot into the top corner, I think is just been informed that he's the player who's going to be replaced. The number 4 there. As the assistant manager, Wyn Williams, makes way for David Lee to come on. So it's Bumstead off, Lee on. Quarter of an hour remaining. Liverpool's third last home fixture for the season. Well headed by Kerry Dixon, but over the top. Well, he got it well, but couldn't steer the header down. So Chelsea, having made their 2 substitution, showing their full hand.
Again, Dixon good in the air, just getting above Hansen without getting a clear header on. Hansen just did enough to put him off without getting a clear header on the goals. That's what you need to do. If you're not going to win it yourself, you make sure somebody else isn't winning cleanly. Flicked on by Dury. Lee.
McMahon was solid and competitive, but too competitive, the referee decides. Free to Chelsea for that over-robust challenge on Kevin McAllister. Moncao and Grobbelaar taking it down. And looking quite defiant this afternoon. Liverpool do not look in the mood to make a slip up this afternoon. They want the 3 points. They realise that 7 points from this and the remaining 3 matches is the target. They would have a superior goal difference to Aston Villa, but I'm sure they want to do it in style and win the home fixtures in particular, this one and the remaining 2 against Queen's Park Rangers and Derby.
They've just gone off the ball in the last few minutes, Liverpool, and they're handing the initiative to Chelsea again. McMahon and Mulvey should get on the ball a lot more than they are doing, and make a few simple passes just to keep it going their way.
It's the Chelsea fans away to our left who are in particularly high spirits right now, and certainly in good voice. And the cop responds, but it's Gordon Dury. As the fans enjoy themselves up on the terraces, it's McMahon seizing the initiative once more for Liverpool. And the cop now taunting the Chelsea fans with who's going to win the league as Gillespie plays that one back. And you might well have expected him to at least be creative and try to play it forward. But it's safety first tactics, 12 minutes to go, and Liverpool 2 goals ahead. And his backroom team there, still refusing to make any substitutions. Here's Rush. Flick forward for Nicol. Liverpool come looking for a third. And it's Nicol with his second of the afternoon.
Well, brilliant finish there by Nicol, and I think again Chelsea trying to come out to play the offside, and a good reverse pass by Rush when he gets onto it here. Kept his head well, Rigo looking, and Besson coming in now into the far corner. What an invaluable player Nicol is for there's a reverse pass, actually went through Mountcall's legs. But Rigo should have gone with Nicol, he's always too late to catch up, and a good finish by Nicol. Rush should be proud of that himself. But Nicol's still great for him now, you can forget about the game now, I think. Liverpool should run riot.
Well, that should seal it, and a substitution has been made by Liverpool at the back, and that's Gary Ablett, you see, losing to Lee as Chelsea come forward, and the player he's replaced is Gary Gillespie. So Steve Nichols with his 9th goal of the season.
That's very good goal scoring from a midfield player and a back four player, and you think he's missed a lot of the season as well. He's been a great player for Liverpool over the years. Any position they want to play him in, he plays it, he does his best and does extremely well in it, wherever it is.
Ablett, another who can play just about anywhere, centre of the defence on Wednesday, can play left back as well as we've seen in the last couple of seasons. Meanwhile, the referee issuing the lecture to Gareth Hall. In fairness, he hasn't had to take a name in the game thus far. But that goal after 79 minutes would certainly have seemed to seal Chelsea's fate. Then with the throw as Liverpool bid to continue to play this match in some style. Outlet. Nickel. And now they can just afford to play the ball around confidently.
Once it gets to this stage, you're looking for another goal or two before the end of the game.
May well get it. Here's Rosenthal in for Barnes. Didn't quite hit it as he would have wished. Here's Hall. Easily killed by Alan Hansen. Burrows. Again, John Barnes. Little gap opening up. Flicked outside to Rosenthal. 3 players to aim it inside. One of them is Rush, and that's goal number 4. And Ian Rush has notched his 242nd goal for Liverpool. 4-0, and there are just 8 minutes remaining. Well done, says Dalglish.
Kenny can smile now, he can relax, and once he got the 3rd goal went in, I don't think he'd been smiling too much before that. Good work by Barnes to get Rosenthal through. What a good ball. Nice easy one for Rush. He needed an easy one like that today because he hasn't been on his game. A great ball from Rosenthal, and if he's going to, it only costed $500,000, what a bargain buy he can be for Kenny Dalglish. Still goals in this for Liverpool. If they really want to go after them now, they could finish up with 6. Rush could get a hat-trick before the end of this game.
Well, that was his 16th league goal of the season, and 8 others as well to take his tally to 24. Mulvey commanding in the air. Burrows here. Rush now playing with a renewed freshness. Rosenthal, who's kept up the whole time and continued to torment Chelsea, giving it away on this occasion to Clive Wilson, however. Right outside, he's got Kerry Dixon. He's got Lee to aim at inside, as well as McAllister. Burrows. Wilson once more. With just over 6 minutes remaining, and it's now Liverpool 4, Chelsea 0. Played forward by Ablett, but Barnes had moved into an offside position. Lee. Campbell's team, who did well to come back from the defeat last week at Villa Park, putting 3 past Crystal Palace on Monday. But Anfield has never been a happy hunting ground for Chelsea.
And to be fair to Chelsea on the day, Joe, it wasn't really a 4-0 match, but that's the way it does end. They've been well into the game up to the 3rd goal. And after that, then, once that was gone, then anything could happen. But it was a fairly even match up to that.
But it's the fans on the Kop in a week which has been an emotional one in many ways, with the Hillsborough disaster ceremonies here last Sunday, the first anniversary of. Barnes just showing a little bit too much of it to Kevin McAllister. Good deep ball towards Kerry Dixon, and Ablett tied in. And as John has said, there were many occasions when Liverpool were those 2 goals ahead at the start of the second half, when Chelsea might well have come back and got one of their own. Burrows up onto the shoulders that time of McAllister, so it's a free kick to Chelsea. Inside the last 4 minutes. And once again, Grobbelaar looking in quite unbeatable form this afternoon. And occasionally we see the antics from this fellow. A bit of a showman, but this afternoon he's been very positive in everything he's done. Rush laying it inside for Rosenthal. Well, perhaps not the wisest of move. Had it come off, it would have been a beautiful pass. Hall in for Kerry Dixon. Just held away by Hussain. He's got a touch to it, although he's arguing that it might well have been a goal kick, and the referee indeed endorses that view.
Well, if Liverpool do win this far, it's the way to go on and win the championship. Never mind what Aston Villa or anybody else do. They came out to do their stuff today, and they were the Liverpool of all. They were very impressive. Plenty of urgency from the start. They got a good break. Rosenthal scored a good goal for them, and from then on it settled them down a bit. Chelsea, to be fair to them, made a contest of it up to the third goal, and since then it's been contest is over.
Mulvey off the legs of Janssen, taking it back from Nicol. Liverpool's 35th league game of the season, and the win here, as assuredly it is at this stage, with just over 2 minutes to go, will take them up onto 70 points. Here's Dixon, nicely curled inside, and again Grobbelaar taking it down and looking confident.
Grobbelaar has played well for them today. I don't think he's had as good a season this season as he normally has, but today, again, he's been alert and alive, and his catching has been good. With eye on the ball all the way, just ducking in the last minute, just get out of the way. He knows somebody's behind him. He's good hands, Grobbelaar, and his concentration is good today.
Well, Liverpool will now feel that another 4 points, that would be a win and a draw from their remaining 2 home matches, would be enough. I'm sure they'll want to win the championship as always in convincing fashion. Bookmakers not taking any money whatsoever on their prospects of winning the title. They're quite convinced, as I think just about everybody in football is, that they're about to notch up their 18th league title. Wilson just getting a flick onto that. Here's Dorigo. Chelsea coming looking for a late goal. Nicholas, and towards Dury. Headed on this occasion, that's back for Lee, but he never really caught it properly. Inside the last minute here at Anfield.
So Kenny Dalglish will be a lot happier with this performance than certainly against Southampton, or even last week against Notts Forest. Played well today, Liverpool, and well deserved their win, and encouraging going into the last few matches. Like Lee said during the week himself, I think every manager would love to be in the position he's in today.
Well, he looked really tense, and many of the players looked quite tense when we were down in the dressing rooms about an hour before kick-off. But that tension has been transformed into good football skills and 4 good goals as well. Liverpool then play out the remaining seconds of this league fixture. And John Barnes has been the architect of much of their fine play from the left of midfield. This rush is outfielded by Janssen. Nicol. His 2 goals, so important. McMahon. Dorigo with one last chance for Chelsea. Dixon just waiting, looking for support, turning inside nicely, getting inside Hansen. And a late consolation goal in the 90th minute for Kerry Dixon, his 20th goal of the season. And the defence, and Grobbelaar in particular, will ask questions about that one.
And Dixon did well there. Again, he's turned Hansen, and he's got to the ball before Hansen did. He deserves a goal on the day, Dixon. He's worked well. There's Hansen. I don't think he expected him to come inside. Should have done, really, because down the outside was covered, Burrows was there. Grobbelaar gets a hand to it, but can't stop it. It's pretty academic at the moment, I think.
So Liverpool then before the biggest attendance of the season, conceding a goal, but we're now nearly 2 minutes into injury time. The referee looking at his watch as Kerry Dixon celebrates yet another goal. They've had that come much earlier in the game, but it's all quite academic at this stage. Rosenthal in the 25th minute, Nicol with 2 this afternoon, 1 after 37 minutes, another after 79, and then 4 minutes later it was Ian Rush coming in to make it 4 before Kerry Dixon got that late consolation score. Rosenthal impressive as always, and before an attendance of 38,000, Liverpool playing with style and with clinical finishing and looking odds-on to win their 18th league championship. Disappointment for Kerry Dixon, but it finishes at Anfield. Liverpool 4, Chelsea 1.
It's Camacho, one of 2 members of the Real Madrid side who played against England at Wembley, the other being Juanito.